Good morning. We're back at it. Still, JDM conversion is going, and some new developments have taken place. All right, so as said before, damn, it looks like it's gonna rain again. As said before, whoever did the JDM conversion on that 4-door, hack job. So I inherited a hack job. But still, in today's market, still been unable to get one. I've still been looking for one to just buy the front nose cut and unable to get it without all the bullshit. Okay, so this is where we are. Started taking this thing apart, got that done. Couple of things that are a concern, but we'll cover this first. Went ahead, white marked, tested out a couple of spots from drills. Definitely gonna talk about that. White marked all the spot wells that I'm gonna have to drill out. Even kind of went and guesstimated what I'm gonna do here when it comes to the JDM lights wrapping around, because that's gotta go. They totally foobarred that shit here. They just bent it back. That's horrible. We're not doing that, okay? So now let's get to the few quirks that I have that I'm definitely gonna have to, again, modify some stuff. Now I ended up being able to make the bracket inserts for the JDM lights so that I could attach the grill. Came out nice and decent. It's something that's not seen, but I did make sure to paint them black and keep them corrosion protected. But I'm hoping that lines up, and we're gonna find out when we start getting the nose on. So whoever did this did not put the brackets on there for the lights. They're not there. So that means I don't have them. So that means they're not gonna be able to go here. So there's a bracket that's gonna go here in this area for the inner mount of the light, because you know you have the two top mounts when they get the support on. And then I think around this area there's another bracket that helps support the bottom of the light. I'm basically gonna make those. Probably find something at Home Depot. Once I get to that point, right now I have other things to worry about. I need to get past first. That's minimal in the grand scheme of this. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do about the radiator. It sits out too far and protrudes beyond this point where I need to mount this, which exactly why they did that. So I gotta figure out if I can take these brackets, put them on the other side, flip this radiator, push it back without running into my headers. It seems like I have enough room, but I don't know until I try it. I also may have to move my reservoir and get that out of there, and even for the moment might just have to detach it, because I'm going to need this area for the light brackets at some point in time, unless I can kind of go around it, shave that, and maybe use a smaller bolt that won't obstruct the light's fitment. And if so, that'd be cool, and then I won't have much to do on that. Maybe a smaller bolt, it'll clear, and then kind of modify the bracket that I'm going to make, since I'm making it anyway, to kind of work in that area. So I might not have to move it completely, just kind of uninstall it for the time being for fitment. I'm also going to go ahead, order me I don't know, I might order a 6-speed horn. I might go ahead and hit those guys up, tell them to send me a couple, or I might just put a Hella in there. Not sure. That's later. That's something small. So now we're gonna head to Home Depot. It seems like I'm always fucking starting these videos going to get parts. Get parts, like parts. I just have to say these damn receipts up. It's like parts. Fuck, I don't have everything. No, I don't. So let's go to Home Depot. I'm gonna go Home Depot. You don't want to see all that shopping shit. You want to see car shit, and I'll be back and we'll get started on cutting this out. Oh, and one more other thing. These spots here were not painted and they were rusting. So I got that, sanded off the rust, surface rust, then denatured it, then went ahead and coated them. So now this is black, and that shouldn't go rust behind the neck support we put there. Always try to do things as you're going back up. Go ahead and fix those little bullshit things going back up. So we're back, and I don't give a damn what it is. If it's Home Depot, Walmart, Summit Racing, or any other auto parts store, you never leave out with just what you came to get. So I went ahead, I got the Zep. That's gonna be used when we get into doing the part 2 of the headlight restoration. Ended up using a blow dryer last night for my wife. Went ahead, got my own heat gun, man's blow dryer. And this is what we end up with, all right? These drill bits, and let me tell you why. This is my reasoning. All the other drill bits I saw up there on the pictograms, they had like wood, PVC, and then like a metal block, right? It's like, 2 out of 3 of those things are not metal. I need metal. All right, so I looked first as my rule of, you know, what do you call that? Not discrimination. We don't want to discriminate. my rule of whatever, you know what the hell I'm trying to say, elimination. Pow. I saw this one had 3 pictograms out of the 4 of metal. Okay, so we got stainless, steel, cast iron, and metals, and then we got wood. Cool. Wood, you know, it's in there, but 3 out of the 4 are metals. So I figured we're gonna go with these Milwaukees. Plus I like Milwaukee. I'm loving this damn thing. I'm gonna do a review on that for you all. So gonna get in here. Plus it says hard metal. No pause. Don't need to do none of that shit. We're gonna see. Set the camera up. Start drilling out these spot welds. Got my nice little pry bar. Don't want to get too crazy with that, but let's get started. So you could go in here and basically try to just see the diameter of the spot weld, pick that drill bit, and just go right to it. But the thing is, you'll probably wear your drill bit out more than you get to that metal because it's so big of a drill bit. It's better to start with a smaller one and kind of walk it up. So I'm gonna start with this one that's just shy of that, and then if it doesn't break, then I'll just walk it up and it should be all right. So let's see how these drill bits do. Start on speed 1. And that's another thing. Sometimes going to a high speed or wear your drill bits out faster too. And every now and then, if you think about it, since we're drilling metal, we might want to coat this drill bit with a little bit of oil, I'm thinking. So I might end up doing that too. Don't put too much pressure, that'll dull it as well. Kind of let it work its way in. And there we go. All right, so I'm gonna get a little oil, something to brush these shavings off with. We're gonna go to town. All right, so I got my little helper. So listen, what I did do is I'm using this chain loop oil to help the drill bit stay from being so dry and give it a little bit of lubrication as they go in. What I also did do is I found that sweet spot where it just hits that spot weld and it will allow me to put a little pressure and break. And this is like my point of really don't want to go past. I don't want to go bigger than that. So usually when I get there, I know I should be able to pop it off because I've done so even without the pry bar. So we'll start with this drill bit and then walk up from there. And I'm even thinking about going a tad bit smaller, but I'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and get this done, see if we can't get this core support off. Progress update. A little bit longer because I'm trying to with kit gloves. So far, got this side good. Now I gotta do this side. Now, let me show you something that I chose to do. I didn't see many others do. I don't know how some others may have done it. This is what I did. I went in, took my shield plate off my jigsaw, and I cut this in half. Now, being new at it, I went through a little bit, but I can sand that, it's no big deal. But I did not want to risk these spot welds right here and lose that support. So now what I'll do is take this, bend it up flat and kind of grind it and smooth it out, paint it over, it'll be fine. But at least now I have all of these spot welds. Then I'll go in here and make my cut for my lights. So now it's time to get started on this other side. This part can be tedious and you really have to be careful. One, because the jigsaw doesn't move in a very short range of motion. It moves in a very long range of motion. So with that being said, you have to kind of find that sweet spot. You're gonna get banged out a few times till you find it and then just pivot the jigsaw to cut around. Then after that, we just work with the shears and the drill bit and finally get this to break loose and then clean it up later. Go. Not being a great at that now. There we go. There it is. It's off. Now I just got to disconnect the hood cable and we can move on. Ta-da! Not as easy as I like. Could have been worse. Now that we got that off, go through, straighten up any of the tabs on this. Go ahead, spray, basically spray that up a little bit. Protect that after I move some of this rust. Then go in here, push these tabs back, clean those up a little bit on each side. I didn't want to risk losing that spot weld. I've seen some people just drill it out and then it comes out, but I wanted to keep that spot weld in place, and I did because it's right here. So I have 1, 2, 3 still. And other than that, clean this work area, get the blower out, get some of these shavings out of here, and reset, and then get ready to start mocking up the JDM core support. Cleaned up the area, took off that surface rust, sanded it, cleaned it down, and pretty much primed it because it's going to the body shop. But some of these areas you might not see again, so it's good for us to go ahead and get some type of coating on there. Now I damn near did hit my car cover, but oh well. But anyway, as you can see, got a nice blacked out, ready for the other core support. Definitely going to get it up here, mock it up, see where this radiator falls and where that kind of falls into place, and decide what we're going to do about that, and of course do about that. And we'll come to the light brackets last once we get everything pretty much straight, because we'll need the lights to figure out how I'm going to maneuver or mold the brackets to work right. So right now I got to go ahead and get on this yard. I got about close to an acre around this entire lot, so, and I push motor shit, so yeah. All right. Oh, and side note, so I saw a lot of people like running through drill bits. I used the same drill bit, wasn't that one? I used the same drill bit for the entire core support, and the same step up. All right. I practice good drilling habits: oil, no excessive pressure, and a nice medium speed. I think you all are using too high of a speed. If you don't have a drill that has variable settings, you need to get one. I think you all are maybe choosing a bit of the wrong drill bits. These Milwaukee hard metal drill bits, where you get 3 different type of metals out of the 4 medias that it does drill. And I also think you all need to start investing in a very thin lubricant oil to help you along the way. That drill bit's still good. It's cutting still good. I mean, you could even see in the video, I cut at an angle with it after I punched me a nice little divot. So yeah, I think you all need to just start practicing good drilling habits. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, subscribe to the channel. Took my shower, chilled out. Yes, got the grass cut. I'm not doing all that edging and blowing and shit. We got other shit to do. So what I'm gonna do is clean up these edges from the previous welds, knock off this rust, then come over here and clean this edge, and of course clean underneath here so it can lay flat, making sure not to take away any material that I need as best I can. Then after that's painted and just sitting, we're gonna go ahead and put some attention on this radiator, try to get it to push back. This is what I'm gonna do so I don't slow up my progress. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put it in its normal position for right now. Now, when I take it to APP for them to pull the motor, yes, pull the motor. At that point in time, if they wanna put it back in position and then drill out my rivets and then do whatever kind of custom work they need to do to support it, I'll let them do that. But I want to keep progress going, so I'm going to get this prep, see if I can push that back so I can access the 2 spot welds from the OEM, and then go from there. Just a quick brush up and spray job, just really something simple just to keep it coated. I'm not too concerned about that because it's going to go back to paint, so they're going to bust it down, but I just want something on there to keep it a little protected while it's on the car until it gets there. So like I said, nothing serious, just a quick black right over. We'll hit that little spot right there, and then it's pretty good. So while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and turn some attention to this radiator, see if we can push it back. And then by the time I finish that, because of the way shit's going, nothing goes fast, that'll probably be dry enough for us to go ahead and handle, and then get that marked up there, get this cut, see where I'm going to make the cuts in the body so the lights can wrap around. You already see I have my marks already anticipated right here, but I'm going to put it up here and see where that falls, and then I'm going to go based off that, and we'll go over that when I get there. So now I'm going to turn some attention to this radiator. So just got another delivery. See what's in here. Oh yes, need these. All right, these are awesome. Some of y'all are using those regular connector crimps. Nah. These are what you need, all right? I might put the link below for these. Awesome environmental heat shrink and solder all in one, along with the adhesive inside to seal the joint. I'm telling you, that's what you need. So let's look at this progress. I was able to do it. Things are awesome. All right, got it. So I got this cleared. They cut this off and still left this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna be able to use this one. This is gone. So I'm gonna drill this one out. And then if I can make another hole over here, and at least this will be able to sit in here. As you see, I got the radiator to clear. This hose is a little, it's not kinked, so that's cool. But like I said, this is temporary. If APP feels they can get it done the other way, they'll bring the radiator back forward and make something custom for the radiator support, and that'd be cool. Right now, I'm about to go and get the bumper support bar, put that in. No, well, actually, we're gonna wait because we gotta put this in first. This is pretty much dry to touch, so it's time for us to go ahead and mark that up so we can see how to get these cut. And what I will do is film me doing this side so you can see, and then we'll go from there. Got this drilled out, this spot weld out. I didn't drill this one all the way out. They didn't leave a lot here because actually, if you actually see, the spot weld is right there. So I started with drilling out another hole down here, and then I just wind it up and then pried it off to leave me enough material so that if I need to on the other brace, I can make a new hole and come through with that if I need to, you feel me? Because you really do need 2 points to keep that hinging effect from going on. So now we're gonna go ahead, let's go ahead and grab the core support. Just lightly place it up there. It's good to touch. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And boom, there we are. Core support's on. No, really, I don't like this, but sitting behind the bumper, I don't really know how much it's gonna matter. Now you see it's not dropping all the way down, but it is close, and those are lined up, so that really helps me kind of align this as well. And from there, we should be like rounding third base. I'm not gonna guarantee that. The way shit goes with this build is, you know, it is what it is. So we're coming up, we're like going to second, and then maybe if the motherfucker is sleeping at third and second, we just kind of round it. We'll see. Just talked to my boy APP. He said they will be able to modify this. Also talked to my boy Farron. He has somebody who can come to my location and weld. So I have a couple of different options, but what I am gonna do is, even if I get this all aligned and then Farron's Connect comes through and welds this portion, I will only have him weld up here, and then I will still rivet this so that way my boy Harry at APP can do what he needs to do to modify that without having to drill out welds. He could just drill out some simple rivets and be good. But at least I can continue doing what I need to do. Hopefully he can get by here like ASAP to do this welding job. But for right now, we have this pretty much placed, and we see that this portion here pretty much lines up with the line I have. So if I cut this, I should be good. And then also cutting right here will allow this to drop down and this to sit flush, because you see there's a gap in there, and that's because this little lip right here is touching right there. So once I cut that out, that'll drop down and be flat, and that'll also help us with the alignment. And it is the same thing here on this side, and I can see where my line is will give us that nice little space for that to drop down. It's cutting time. And there we go, cut. Now I like to, you saw I put a circular object up there and just rounded out this corner just ever so slightly. I just think that having straight, sharp corners and metal is not good. It just exposes it to be able to crack easier. So I like to round those out a little bit and then just hit it with the grinder just to clean up those sharp edges. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Then it's almost time for fitment. Got it cut up there and there. All right, now you're gonna see, I guarantee you when we put this in place, a totally different drop, maybe even a different sound when it gets in there. Look at that, it's in there. that drop, that piece missing, getting cut right. Now we're a little bit more closer here and here for alignment. That's nice. Now it's time to go ahead, get these fenders on, get this hood on, get some shit aligned, get some lights in. See the JDM facelift coming to fruition. Let's go. Hot damn. Finally got the hood on, fenders on, kind of coming together. Definitely some body lines to work out, but let's go ahead and close the hood if it will close. That was hell. Yeah, we definitely got some fitment to work out around here. On the hinges side, definitely you can see a big gap right there, but she is coming together. So now I'm gonna work on getting these lines together. This line is not too bad, a little close up here than it should be. And this line is not too bad up here, but further back there than it should be. So what I'm gonna do is get everything kind of situated where the lines make sense. The hood closes good, and then I probably will bring the other pieces in just to get a better fitment. And then what I'm gonna do is lift the hood and lock the core support in place from there, and then take this stuff off. I'm not a body guy, but it's pretty close, and I think it's close enough that if I were to get the core support tack welded, it would be with an adjustment for the body shop. So this body line right here could go in a little bit, but that's just that metal bracket piece that they can push in and adjust that. As you see right there, how it just popped out. But as far as the door line, the door gap is a little consistent. I'm pretty sure it could use some body work. The hood lines I have pretty damn close. Look at that. There's that hood gap. Let me get out of there so you can see that. That hood gap, pretty close. Now I'm finna get that piece over here. I got my raffle ticket bucket that I have at shows to help me kind of hold it in place, because that metal is thin in the middle and the sides are heavy. So want to get that on there. I was actually thinking about shooting this. There's a little surface rust on there, not much that I'm concerned with right now, because this is going to be exposed when the body shop gets it. So I think that that can kind of rest. This is the hardware they had in here using for this piece, which is correct. Fortunately, this one is not the same, but it's a 12, but I actually have these. So I'm going to go ahead and use the ones I already have in there, and we'll go ahead and get this piece in. Got the headlights kind of aligned a little bit there. Got this side of line's pretty good. This side, it's all right. There's a little dent. There's a dent right there they're gonna have to take care of. It looks okay. I don't have the hood latch in, which is not something I'm sure I need to do. But what we're gonna do right now is go ahead and try to fit the bumper on and see how that goes around, and then make adjustments according to that being on. Now, I did find the plastic clips here. They had some bullshit bolts in it, which is why you see rust right there, and it was only one. I found them on our damn scrapyard Wasp Attack extravaganza. So now let's try to get this bumper in. Bumper is in. It clipped in. It's got some adjustment, especially like right here. But I don't have the pieces in here mounted to where the bumper mounts to the body, so that also can be flexed and fixed. And this side is pretty nice, so that's a plus, knowing at least you got one side. And we got to get this next side. This gap in between the headlights and this hitting right here has me a little concerned, which, you know, makes me think maybe they might have to do some shifting. I might actually notch this out. I'm not gonna notch it out right now though. I'll wait until it comes down. I'll let the body shop worry about that. But now let's go ahead and get this center garnish. Now these pieces I had to make and salvage from other vehicles, generations, and put me something together in order to have this. They had 2 big ass stupid bolts in there. So now we're gonna get that piece, slide that in right here. Usually the finishing piece, when you see people do these, they put this on, close the hood, and it's like complete, but it's really not, because we still have to have this core support mounted. So my next following steps are going to be to go ahead and clamp this core support down where it is and leave the hood up, and then basically get somebody over here to either weld them soon, or I'll rivet myself and see where this is, pretty much do that. So see what it looks like with the middle grill in, which kind of brings it to almost a completion look. And there we go. The conversion is not completely finished, but that is a damn good visual of some promise to come. All right, some gapping issues to work on. I see I'm a little, sometimes I can be anal retentive, and I love this line. This line is looking lovely. This line's a little wide, definitely gonna need some adjustment, but we are pretty much in there. Pretty much in, I mean, I'm loving it. If it wasn't for, I'm gonna have to get some shots later, but still have to do the headlights. Although we did the lenses, we're gonna redo that again. Take them apart, get in there, rebuild them. But yep, there we go. JDM version. It's on the way. We're not done yet. Gotta finish this thing up, get some things tweaked. But damn. So that ends today's episode of this conversion process. I will be back with more, getting the rest of this core support basically welded in, finalizing what we're gonna do with the center portion, taking all that back off, welding it, then putting it back on to a degree and sending this baby off to paint, but not before the big bang. We got a big bang that's coming before we send this paint. You're gonna fucking love it, because I'm gonna love it when it finally gets here. We're about 3 months out. So like I always say, just build it, be safe, peace.